Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Raptors sign ex-Lakers, Grizzlies center amid other roster moves. The Toronto Raptors made a major mid-season move with the acquisition of Brandon Ingram at the NBA trade deadline. Ingram has yet to play for the Raptors though, and it's more a move for next season. The rest of this season for the Raptors should be about evaluating younger prospects. The Raptors made a series of roster moves in recent days to that end, including signing big man Colin Castleton to a 10-day contract, as per Michael Scotto of HoopsHype.com. The Raptors had an available roster spot for Colin Castleton after the move to sign Jared Rhoden to a two-way contract, as per Scotto. The roster spot that Rhoden was occupying was freed up after the Raptors' decision to cut P.J. Tucker. Tucker was acquired at the trade deadline amid several moves the team made. Toronto also converted Orlando Robinson from his two-way contract to a standard contract. Castleton will have the next 10 days for the Raptors to evaluate him and see if they want to sign him to another 10-day contract. As per NBA rules, teams are allowed to sign players up to two 10-day contracts before they either need to sign them for the remainder of the season or cut them. The aforementioned guidelines are provided that teams are able to. The Dallas Mavericks were unable to sign Moses Brown to an additional 10-day contract after his first one expired due to salary cap restraints. Colin Castleton is now in his second season in the NBA after going undrafted in the 2023 NBA draft. He started his career with the Los Angeles Lakers on a two-way contract. Castleton was under contract with the Lakers on a two-way for this season, but the team opted to cut him amid Quincy Oliveri's impressive preseason debut. Following his release by the Lakers, Castleton was picked up by the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies had recently cut Castleton in favor of rookie guard Zion Pullen. Castleton is a young center prospect who can play in the paint and play defense, but can also make moves off the dribble as well as space the floor with improving shooting range. Across the past two seasons, Castleton has appeared in a total of 26 NBA games with both the Lakers and Grizzlies. One of Castleton's best games as an NBA player came last season with the Lakers against the San Antonio Spurs in December 2023. He finished with 6 points on 3 of 3 shooting, 1 rebound and 1 assist. The Raptors actually have a few young prospects at center including Robinson and second-round draft pick Jonathan Mogbo. Knicks Karl-Anthony Towns to be available against Lakers. After missing Tuesday night's loss to the Golden State Warriors due to personal reasons, Knicks big man Karl-Anthony Towns is not listed on the injury report and will be available Thursday against LeBron James and the LA Lakers. The news was first reported by SNY's Ian Begley. When he's ready to come back, obviously we want him back, Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau said ahead of Tuesday's game. But he needs some time right now. The Knicks are listing Precious Achiuwa, left hamstring tightness, OG Anunoby, left thumb sprain, and Mitchell Robinson, injury recovery, as questionable for the game, per Begley. Towns, a Piscataway, New Jersey native and former number 1 pick out of Kentucky, is averaging 24.5 points and 13.4 rebounds for the Knicks, 40-20. He went for 19 points and 16 rebounds in Sunday's win in Miami. The Lakers, 39-21, have won 7 straight and have moved into the number 2 position in the loaded Western Conference after trading for Luka Doncic to pair with LeBron. James made history Tuesday night when he became the first player ever to score 50,000 points between the regular season and the playoffs during a 136-115 win over the New Orleans Pelicans. Things went from bad to worse for the Dallas Mavericks on Monday night when they lost Kyrie Irving to a serious-looking knee injury early on in their contest against the Sacramento Kings. Irving, on an aggressive drive to the basket, seemed to bend his knee backwards after planting his left foot, immediately sending him to the ground crumpling in pain. Irving then took and made his 2 free throws before being helped off the court. Some bonds simply cannot be broken by circumstances. Irving's former Mavericks teammate, Luka Doncic sent a heartfelt message to his former backcourt mate on his Instagram story wishing him well in the aftermath of this unfortunate development. Luka Doncic on his IG story: "This injury to Irving was the last thing the Mavericks needed, especially with Anthony Davis, the man they acquired from the Los Angeles Lakers courtesy of the Doncic trade, still on the mend due to a groin injury." With the Mavs having a 32-29 record heading into their Monday night matchup against the Kings, they are facing an uphill climb in their goal to make the playoffs and compete for a championship. With Irving and Davis out, it's not quite clear how the Mavericks will manage. The onus to create offense will fall on the shoulders of Jaden Hardy and Spencer Dinwiddie, and that's hardly a reliable recipe for success for a team looking to earn its place in the top 6 of the Western Conference. This was a scenario that the Mavericks could have managed if they still had Doncic on the roster. Doncic would have no problems taking on additional burden on the offensive end. But Doncic is now with the Lakers, and all the Mavericks can do is lick their wounds. Steve Nash thought Mavericks' Luka Doncic trade was a joke. On Monday evening, the Dallas Mavericks season unofficially came to an end when Kyrie Irving went down with an ACL tear. The injury was the latest in a series of unfortunate events for the Mavericks that began when Nico Harrison thought it would be a good idea to trade Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers. When news of the trade first broke on Shams Charania's X account, many across the sports world assumed that a prankster had hacked the ESPN Insider's account. Recently, former Mavericks and Lakers guard Steve Nash shared his candid initial reaction to the deal, per Josh Donaldson of Flash Score. "Yeah, I think everybody was shocked. They clearly did an incredible job, especially in today's age, of keeping it quiet. So I think it was a surprise to everybody," said Nash. "I think I woke up in the middle of the night to a message. I thought it was a joke, and then realized it was actually real. And yeah, what a surprise." Even before Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving went down with injuries, the Mavericks' trade of Doncic to the Lakers was already on the short list of most puzzling decisions in the history of professional sports. However, now that Irving is out for the season and Davis may be as well, essentially guaranteeing that the Mavericks won't compete for a title this season, the trade now looks even worse than it did a month ago. By trading Doncic, Harrison and company were gambling that the Mavericks would win at least one, if not multiple championships in the next 2 to 3 years with Davis and Irving, or they risked earning the wrath of fans for having orchestrated the worst trade in NBA history. Year 1 is already looking like a no, so unless the Mavericks are able to band together and win a championship in 2025-26, it wouldn't appear that there is any avenue for Harrison and his counterparts to avoid basketball infamy. And you, fan? What do you think about the situation of Steve Nash? Write to us in the comments.